Hey y'all, it's KP with House 11. It's been a while. I haven't done one of these videos since April. And let me just tell you that I needed some time to myself. I had to really do some in-house cleaning externally and internally. So yeah, let's talk about what has happened up until this point. Well, the major things that happened up until this point. And so you have what are called the nodes. Nodes are not actually planetary bodies, but they are mathematical points for the moon. So when you have new and full moons in the signs of where the nodes are at, this is where we have eclipses. And so we had a new moon solar eclipse in Taurus back in April, the last day of April. And then we had the full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio. And so with both of these aspects, we had the beginning of a year cycle, a year and a half cycle that is going to really be pushing the envelope when it comes to second and eighth house things. Second house being ruled by Taurus, eighth house being ruled by Scorpio. And so the idea of finances, our security, our self-value, the value that we see with other people and things in the world. I don't know if I said money already, but money, your money and other people's money, loans, wills, a birth, death, a rebirth, a rejuvenation, really shedding things that have no alignment to our higher purpose and our higher self. I really low-key hate using those words. Now I want to say hate, but it's like, it sounds so like everybody else, but for like a better word, y'all get what I'm saying. So, yeah, so you could have been feeling a lot of different changes, a lot of eruption with yourself, or seeing it with other people, and seeing, the disruptions in the world. Right now, we have a food shortage going on, and this shit is not going to stop anytime soon. We're having changes with our financial system and the structural system of our government. And some other things that's been going on in the world. So, do what you need to do in order to learn new skills, learn new trades, getting into figuring out how to be a part of a community garden if you don't have a garden of your own, growing your own food, learning how to do things that are outside of your comfort zone because of the surprising, not so surprising to people who pay attention, but surprising things that could pop up out of nowhere. You don't want to be blindsided. So that's that. Now we are in the month of June, and so there are some things going on with June. So recently we had Mercury go direct in Taurus. It was retrograding for a while. It went direct on the 3rd of June in Taurus at 26 degrees, which 26 degrees is a Taurus degree, so that's favorable. And then it would actually go into Gemini on June 13th. Then the day after, on June 4th, Saturn said, the retrograde season is not over. We're going to jump right into another one. So Saturn started retrograding in Aquarius at 25 degrees. And 25 degrees is an Aries degree. So things with self, the body, our mental state, and then things with pertaining to our social groups, our friends, our hopes, our wishes, and the future of our lives and other people's lives, and the future of our community as a whole. Right after that, we have full moon in Sagittarius at 23 degrees, which is a Aquarius degree. And it's going to be a supermoon. Supermoons are where the moon looks very, very, very large. I'll make another video getting more in depth about the full moon in Scorpio. Full moon in Scorpio. full moon in Sag. And then after that, we have the sun going in Cancer, which is the summer solstice. The day after that, we have Venus going into Gemini. And then we have two things happening on the 28th. We have Neptune going retrograde in Pisces at 25 degrees. And then we have a new moon in Cancer at 7 degrees. 25 degrees being Aries degree, 7 degrees being Libra degree. And so with all these planetary energies that's going on in June, one of the things that is at the forefront is the energy from the eclipse. Now, the eclipse is not like a 1 day or a 1 week thing. We are going to be feeling this for a while. And you might see very strong indicators of the things that were highlighted based off of your house from the new moon in Taurus eclipse and the full moon Scorpio eclipse around October, November. And so, yeah, it's very important that you keep working on releasing and letting go from things of the past, letting go of things that have been holding you back mentally, physically, financially, and cleansing out your house and really being intentional about how often you do those things. It's not something that you're supposed to do like 1 or 2 or 3 times. It's literally added to like your rituals that you do on a daily basis. So yeah, that is the Astro Tea for June. Now let's get into what Spirit has for us. Okay. When I was meditating before this video, I saw the Mason sign. I think it's very important that you be mindful of synchronicities that you see. Masonry has a negative connotation to it because of all the things that has been associated with it, as far as, you know, the 1% family, which I'm not going to name, but pretty sure most of you know who those are. But when you look at the Mason symbol, Masonry is all about intention, and it's all about math and science, right? And with math and science, it's very important that you understand being precise and being concise with the things that you do, right? And being very intentional. They are known for rituals and they are known for manifestations. And so being precise and concise with the things that you want to bring forth by doing the necessary due diligence when it comes to taking care of your mental, when it comes to taking care of your physical, and when it comes to taking care of your spiritual body. I also saw the entire rainbow, so that's given balancing your chakras, your main chakras. Now we have way more than 7 chakras, but the main 7 ones, which are your root, which is at the base of your spine, sacral, which is right below your navel, solar, which is right above your navel, heart, throat, third eye, and crown chakra. And so meditation is one of the things that I always promote when it comes to balancing and specifically visualization meditation. Saying prayer, cleansing your home, picking a day where you cleanse your home on a regular, going outside in nature and grounding, and taking your shoes off and actually putting your feet into the grass, going by a body of water, cleansing in water, doing spiritual baths. There's so many things that you can do, but it's just to name a few. So I've seen that. So that's going to be very important for June, especially with us going into the summer solstice. So it's a new cycle of going into cardinal energy. So initiating things pertaining to our emotional bodies and how we use our emotional intelligence in order to connect with ourselves and with other people. All right, so Spirit, what do we have for the month of June? What is the overall energy? What are some struggles that the collective is going into? And what is the advice? So, you have? I see a tulip. It looked like a fork at first, like the Neptune symbol, and then it like turned into a yellow tulip, making sure you're giving flowers to your ancestors. Yellow is also the solar plexus, which has to do with willpower and confidence and courage, and doing things that make us feel good. I be long-winded, y'all, and I apologize. I'm 10 minutes into this video. I'm like talking too damn much. Spirit, what else do we have? What is the overall energies? It is struggles. What is the advice? Talk to me. Talk through me. Use me as a vessel. What is the color that needs to know? So what came out was the Knight of Pentacles, Ten of Swords, Temperance, with the bottom of the deck being Eight of Swords. And so the first thing that pops out to me is the Ten of Swords. With this being a struggle, in a struggle position or difficult position, it's very important that you understand when it's time to lay at rest. There could be some hidden agendas with people. There could be some ill intentions with people, and you could be stabbed in the back, right? You may not see it coming, so it's very important that you use discernment when you are dealing with people that give you a certain type of feeling. If you're feeling something when you are around certain people, that is your intuition telling you to take heed, right? Overall, for the month of June, this Knight of Pentacles is basically saying, slow down. I just want to get into them. Yes, it's very important that you are slow and steady and very intentional in grounding yourself in the activities and relationships and whatever else that you're doing for the month of June. Don't procrastinate. Whatever it is that you have on your plate is very important that you plan to execute. Just going with the wind is not going to suffice, and it's not going to bring you the results that you want to see, because Pentacles is all about it's earth energy, right? And earth energy, Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus, those signs are known to be resilient, but also to take their time when it comes to doing things, right? And so this Knight of Pentacles is bringing a message of, when it comes to your coin, it's very important that you take the time in order to plan out the things that is necessary for you to reach your goals. When it comes to your self-worth, really taking time to delve deep into who you are as a person, so that way you can utilize those skills that you recognize in yourself in order to bring out the success that you want to see for this month. With this Eight of Swords, it's telling me that the fears that you have are fears that you are creating within yourself. The bandages the hold that you feel like certain things the hold that you feel like certain things has on you are only limitations that you have created for yourself. So if you created those limitations, you can also take those limitations away. It's all mental, right? Swords is mental energy, and 8 is all about strength and ambition and having the infinite energy to know when you need to take a step back and realize and assess the mental anguish that you are putting on yourself, right? What we think is what manifests, right? 8 is also about manifestation. So fear can manifest in your plans if you are not taking the time to really think about your thoughts and how those thoughts are playing out into the physical world for you. And so the Temperance card is an energy of balance. Now you see here it's yellow again, right? This card has a yellow background. The 8 of Swords has a yellow background. And even the Knight of Pentacles is gold, but the coin is gold, and that's close to being yellow, right? And so this energy is calling to really tap into your solar plexus, to tap into your willpower, to tap into your confidence, to tap into your courage, to redefine what that looks like for you, especially after letting go so many things, or being in the process of letting go things that you utilize to define who you were. Now that you don't have those things anymore, who are you, right? Where is this confidence coming from? What is giving you the push in order to move forward? Also, with the Temperance card, it's very important that you find balance in the things that you are doing. In the card, the Temperance is in the water, right? The Temperance is in the water, but it's also the land, earth and water energy. So using your intuition, but also making sure that you're using your intuition to tap into the physical realm as well, being in the subconscious and also being in the conscious realm, and using both of those energies in order to move forward, in order to create the things that you want to create, right? There's a lot of red in here as well. The background is red, the cape is red, and the angel has red wings and with a red shawl. And so this idea of security, using your confidence and your willpower to establish the security, to remove the fear that you have, right? You have to dig in deep. You have to ask yourself, what is it going to take in order for me to build a strong foundation of security and a strong foundation of confidence, right? The root chakra is the first chakra, and without that being stabilized, it's hard to stabilize all the other chakras, right? So you have to have a strong security and sense of self in order to even get to the solar plexus, and then from there you can build on the confidence and the courage that's needed for your path at this moment. Let's pull some more cards. I'll get some clarifying cards. Can we clarify this whole energy? Some of you could be getting, I'm hearing like a loan. I'm hearing some type of financial progress coming in the month of June as well. It's going to come in not when you expect it though. It's going to feel like it's going to take forever to come. All right, we got the 4 of Cups, boredom and discontent. Four of Cups is the energy of not recognizing when you have certain things that's already readily available to you, right? You're feeling discontent because you're not where you want to be. But the Knight of Pentacles is telling you to pause and slow down for a reason, because it doesn't want you to miss the things that are for you, right? And you're finding boredom in it. You find that things are not coming in fast enough for you. But when you move too fast, this is when things can disrupt you and bring you into a state of anguish and turmoil, right? So slowing down doesn't necessarily mean that things aren't happening for you. It's so that you can have better clarity to see what is coming to you and what is coming towards you, right? Like I said earlier, you don't want to be blindsided. I'm hearing the word master. Mastering self is why you need to slow down, right? Also, who do you look at as your master? Do you look at other people? Do you look at your job? What is overtaking your life and causing you to have some type of anguish and discontent? Two of Swords, mental conflict, right? So again, taking a step back. What are you having difficulty with when it comes to the thoughts that you're having? You feel this way and you feel this way, and then you're having issues with figuring out which way that you should even go, right? It's a lot of swords, so a lot of y'all are in your heads. Y'all need to get out of your heads and come into the physical. Heart chakra. I'm just talking about the chakras, right? Now, the heart chakra, and in the background is the Two of Pentacles. Oh, look at that. Right underneath that, we have the Strength card, 8. Right? I was just talking about that 8 being the number of courage, the number of ambition, right? So we got 2-2, right? That goes with finding balance. That goes with making sure that you are attending to your relationships, that you are finding balance in the spiritual and the physical realms, both, and not just focusing on one or the other, but balancing both, right? A lot of green, right? We got green, we got green grass in here. And so green is the color of money, right? Green is also the color of the heart chakra. And so I find it's funny that you got the Temperance, which is about balance, and then you have the heart chakra. Now the heart chakra is in the middle of all the 7 chakras, right? You got the bottom 3, which is the root, sacral, and solar. Then you got the heart in the middle, and then you have the throat, third eye, and crown. And so your heart center, right, which is also Leo energy, right? Leo rules the heart. It's very important that you tap into your heart. It's very important that you listen to what your heart is asking for you to do, and not so more your mind. Your mind is a component that can play tricks on you, right? Because what your mind does is it works in order to try to protect you from your own subconscious. It tries to protect you from the thoughts that you are planting in. And so your mind could be telling you one thing that's not necessarily aligned to what you need for your higher purpose, but your heart, which is the vessel that keeps you alive, right? It's the vessel that keeps you going. It's the vessel that helps you to stay breathing, right? When that is out of whack, when it's closed off, it's hard for you to feel the flow of everything else coming to you. It's hard to not be fearful. it's hard to listen and figure out what it is that you need in order to be in alignment, right? Then you got 4-4, right? 4-4 is all about foundation. What does your foundation look like? What is the foundation, going back to the root chakra? What are you doing in order to solidify the base of your life? That could look like you going back and revamping your relationships with people. It could look like going back to the drawing board and figuring out what it is that you want moving forward in life, right? It could look like reflecting on the things that had happened up until this point and how you want to change, take away stuff, and add stuff into your life in order for you to be in better alignment, right? Some of y'all could be going through some type of mental, emotional pain as well in June, and that emotional pain is going to be a breakthrough that you need. It's going to help you realize that you don't need certain things in your life. These emotional pains are going to be lessons that's necessary for you to figure out who you really are and where you're going. With this cups and sword energy, which is the mental and the emotions, you could be going back and forth mentally and emotionally about the decisions that you make. And it's very important that you take the time to assess all of the options that you have, right? Movement, choices, and decisions. As you see, all 4 elements are in this Two of Pentacles card, right? 2 being about balance. You blind yourself when you don't look at everything and you just move forward without a plan, right? This Pentacles energy is telling us that it's very important that we assess every single aspect of our life and we plan accordingly to what we have going on right now in order to make the best decision that's aligned to our higher purpose. And so when you don't balance that out, right, the fear gets heightened, right? And then you have disorder that can come through. And so 10 is all about endings, right? 10 is really 1, and so with endings comes new beginnings. And so it's very important that you recognize what needs to be let go, so that way you can start a new chapter in your life fresh and you can move forward with the next chapter in your life. So overall, from these cards, I'm getting focusing on your root, focusing on your foundation, focusing on balancing the spiritual and the physical in your life, making sure that you are assessing every single choice in your life so that way you can make the proper movement and the proper decisions, finding the strength within you at the core of who you are, right? And finding the courage and the confidence in order to move forward, so you're not being fearful about the things that you don't need to fear, right? And then making sure that you give yourself compassion and you give yourself empathy, so that way you're not operating from a place of lack and you're not operating from a place of hurt, and you understanding that certain things have to happen in order for you to have a breakthrough. Make sure that you're writing down your feelings as well and the thoughts that you have, so that way you can pinpoint any patterns that may be reoccurring. Those patterns are going to be important for you to notice, because again, we are in a cycle of releasing and letting go. So in order for you to release and let go, you have to understand the patterns that are reoccurring in your life. And sometimes it's hard to see that when we're just going through the day and not really being intentional about making sure that we have records of what's going on in our lives, right? Pull another card. What moon energy collective need right now? I find it funny that we pulled swords and cups because, you know, in the middle of the month we're going into Cancer, which is a water sign, which is cups. And then we also have Venus going into Gemini and Mercury going back into Gemini as well this month, which is the swords energy. So it's like really, and then we have a new moon in Cancer at the end of the month. So it really aligns to what the planetary energies is going on. We got your dreams need to I don't be making this shit up. Full moon in Taurus. Your dreams need a practical plan. So that just goes with the Knight of Pentacles cards, where I say we need to take it slow and really make a plan for the things that we want to do moving forward, so that way we are minimizing our mistakes and minimizing having to double back on certain things, right? Taurus is also ruled by Venus, so it's very important that you align those plans to what brings you pleasure, right? A lot of us are doing things because we feel like this is what we need to do, and we're not aligning to the things that actually make us happy and make us feel whole. Also, though, another card that came out was the Void of Course Moon. Nothing will come of the situation, and so that's when the moon is not necessarily in a sign, and so whatever it is that you are having a hard time letting go, this is a message to let it go, because there's nothing else that you can get from the situation. If you've been feeling like you are not gaining any movement in the situation that you really put some emotional strides into, let it go. There's nothing else that you can get out of it. And so at that moment, it's best to just reflect on what you did get out of it, and what lessons that you needed to gain from that situation, so that way you can carry it into the next chapter in your life without the emotional ties, but the knowledge and the wisdom of the situation, right? So if it comes back up, you know how to move forward from it. And then at the bottom of the deck was Don't Let Pride Get in the Way, Full Moon in Leo, which goes with that Strength card and the Heart Chakra. Pull a shadow card, because you know niggas love to be love and light all the time, but everything ain't love and light. What shadow element do we need to work on as a collective? Energy, do not lose your head, because you will lose yourself. Do not lose your head, because you will lose yourself. Okay, let's see. Energy is fire. And so it says, showing immense passion but refusing showing immense passion but refusing to plan ahead or working on the foundation, fundamentally putting the cart before the horse. Bro, y'all see me shuffling, I ain't pulling this shit out my ass. I'm not like, well, let me make sure these cards match. This is what the message is saying. You have to lay the foundation. What is your foundation looking like? Now that you have let all this shit go, or you're working to let all this shit go, how are you reestablishing the foundation You done had a tower moment. You done been through some shit. How are you going to lay down this new foundation? What are you going to do? Right? Certain things haven't worked out in your life because the foundation was not sturdy. And so with us going through the eclipse season, it wasn't to make your life a living hell. It was to help you see where there were holes in your life, where there were holes in your foundation that needed to be restructured, right? You can't have So yeah, with this energy card, don't lose your head because you'll lose yourself. We can get so lost into our passion behind wanting to do certain things that we may run into some situations where it may cause frustration or things don't pan out the way that we envision because we haven't taken the time to actually plan the basis of what we're doing. And so it's very important that what I've been saying for the majority of this reading, that the foundation is very, very important. You take the time and really slow down to think about what you want your outcome to be and planning backwards on the steps that's necessary to reach that goal. And also keeping in mind that how we view stuff may not be exactly how it comes out in the physical. So giving yourself space and giving yourself compassion when it comes to your projects, your relationships, and wherever else your passion may lies. Just because it doesn't pan out the way that you envision doesn't mean that it's not panning out as it should. Don't be so caught up in wanting to get things done and having this perfect vision that you don't allow room for mistakes. Mistakes is where growth happens as well. And when you have a level head, you can see more things. You can see things more clearly, and you can be better equipped to avoid the hurt and this disdain and the cloudy and rainy days that may come from not planning out accordingly. I want to end the reading with some self-healing cards. What energies do we need in order to self-heal? What affirmations do we need collectively at this time, Spirit? Let's channel through me. Y'all, this reading was definitely necessary for me too, because I'll be like in my feelings about certain stuff, and I'll be like, no, I don't need to plan. I know where my heart is at. And then it's like things don't work out how I envision, and I'll be like, oh my God, why is this happening to me? It's because I didn't plan accordingly. When you have a plan, it helps the flow way better. I'll be shuffling a long time. Sorry. Can I get one more, please? Y'all gonna be like, yo. When I read this card, goes with the 8 of Swords. Goes with the 8 and 10 of Swords. This one's sticking out, so I want to say. So again, the red with the red chakra. So I'll read this one first. It says, as I say yes to life, life says yes to me. Life mirrors my every thought. As I keep my thoughts positive, life brings to me only good experiences. And this card is like, it's very positive and uplifting, but me realistically, it's like positive thoughts are not always possible, right? We sometimes have thoughts that are not positive. They're negative, they're self-limiting and stuff like that. But the key is to not ignore it, but is to acknowledge it, figure out where it's coming from, and then combat it with positive energy and positive thoughts. Because once you understand where the self-limiting thoughts and belief is coming from, if you can pull it up by the root, then you can now plant new thoughts, and you won't have both of those trying to fight each other, but instead you'll have address the negative thoughts, right? Acknowledge it. Peace. I see where you're coming from. I know now what I need to plant in order to replace this energy, right? And then the second one, I release all fears and doubts. Again, there's nothing to be fearful and there's nothing to doubt. When you have the strength and the confidence and the security and the foundation and the plan to move forward. When you have all those things, you have a recipe for success, right? It says, I accept myself and create peace in my mind and heart. Again, remember we have pulled a lot of swords and a lot of cups, which is all emotion and mental energy. I now choose to free myself from all destructive fears and doubts. I am loved and I am safe. Yeah, y'all. Make sure that y'all keep y'all heart center open, right? Make sure y'all doing the work and not doing it one time, but being consistent and being real ritualistic with the things that you are doing. Because when you are consistent and concise and precise, remember I told you I saw that Mason imagery in my head. It breeds the things that you are looking for, the things that you want to bring into the physical realm, right? And so y'all got this. I know it's been very hard. There's a lot of things going on in the world. There's a lot of personal things that's going on with each of us. But all of this is to help us make better decisions that's more aligned to our higher purpose, and for us to really assess where we are at and where we're trying to go. And so that way we can be better decision makers, be better at using our discernment, be better with our intuition, and be better with being gentle with ourselves and combating those self-limiting thoughts and beliefs. And so I hope this reading resonates with you guys. Please comment, like, share, send it out to people. You know what I'm saying? Comment, let me know what you think. And I'll see y'all on the flip side. Next video will be focused on the full moon in Sag and doing a reading around that. So I'll see you guys then.